Hey boardies, welcome to AmassGames. My name is Simon. Yes, hands-free here for the game Unstoppable. Not my copy, so this won't be as long as usual. This is a deck building, a card crafting game, once again by John D Clair. Yeah, check out my other videos by him, but he's known for card crafting games whereby you will take a card and basically get upgrades over here, which will insert into a sleeved card, giving you further abilities. So these kind of cards down here at the bottom level. So this is this level here. What you can do is you can get these cards. There's a cost. You're going to have some credits. You're going to start off with a number of credits beginning of the game. And yes, you can slot it in when there's a gap in a card that you want to slot it into in between two other cards. And it can have an ongoing effect. At the beginning of the game, you're going to have upgrades. So you're going to start off at level 1 over here. This is a 1 to 2 player game as well. And what you can do is grab the first 3 cards, pick one of them, and insert it into this thing as well. And you're not going to look at the other side, but there's going to be like a boss thing. So check out my Edge of Darkness video as well. I'll be giving you some comparisons to it in some respects too. This is a game whereby you are fighting a boss. So I've just played this as a 2. We've lost. We're trying to deal 24 damage. So it's 24 damage because we're playing as a 2, or 12 if you're playing it solo. We've just done 4 damage, but you do 1 damage each time you happen to deal damage to a boss. However, we have already lost because we have taken max damage. So you start off at 10 health and 0 armor, but you can improve your armor. I just had 2 armor and I had 6 health, taken 8 damage because at the end of the turn you will lose damage equal to whatever's in play. So I'm losing loads of damage up here. This count over here tracks kind of sort of like rounds, maximum 14 rounds playing on beginner mode, which we are, or just did, and against the beginner boss, the Harbinger. And at the end of each round, this is going to bump forward. I can keep bumping forward again, so you can help clear this deck out using this, refresh symbol. As the game goes on, these symbols over here represent these skulls, which basically means any cards in play, a bit like in the game Aeon's End in some respects, means that these cards get stronger. So it's 3 plus 1 currently. Let it hang around though, and of course it could be worth 5 damage rather than 4, or 5, defense. So you can chuck these tokens on here as and when you do damage. But yes, you're going to start off drawing 3 cards and see if you can play them out. And you can also get rid of cards. So let's show you some starting cards which I've already banished. Here's some kind of starting cards. So I might have had a hand like this. And this lets me do damage. So you can see the symbol here, but it's going to cost me an action. So you've got 3 action points. You can spend one of them. I can spend this one to another damage. And over here I can do other stuff such as if there's 3 active threats. So I have 3 active threats. Then what I can do is gain a credit. If I'm level 2 or more, which I'm currently at as an example, I can gain an additional credit for each active threat with damage. So in this case, that's quite good. But unfortunately, at this point, I've already banished this card. So I would still have an action token remaining, so I could hold on to it for a future turn in this particular round. But when you do destroy one of these things, this card will flip over, can give you a bonus. So you can destroy a card if you want to from your hand or discard pile. And you'll take this card, you'll flip it over, and now it goes into your hand too. So remember, I've already used up 2 action points. You start off with 3, so I can discard the third one to again do some more damage, which may get an extra card. So these cards, as and when they've used, are going to go into your discard pile, and that's the game that is going to go on like that. So you start off, you get 3 action points initially, so put 3 on here. Refresh all allies, anything which is exhausted, you turn back upwards, or tapping, obviously, in that universe, and resolve any upkeep effects. Then you're going to draft, which is when you get those 3 cards up here. So we're just recapping over here. And then what you can then do, again, you can keep one of those cards. And any of the other 2, you're going to place the bottom of that deck in that respective zone. And you can see which upgrades they're in, because it costs 6, 5, 4, or not cost. But yeah, you can only go up to where your bigger disc is. This piece over here, upgrades as and when you get through this deck here, which we'll come back onto. So the main phase, yes, you're playing out cards, exhausting allies, buying upgrades. We've talked about that. The threat phase, you're taking damage, we talked about this. The cleanup, discard any of those cards, lose any unspec action points, so that's all going to disappear. Reset armor to 0, which is obviously down here. Reset the battlefield with active threats, so we've got new stuff going on. And then lastly, advance danger by 1. So there's always 3 cards come out, but if the fast symbol comes out, or if you have a fast symbol in play, then you're going to have to bring out another card. So this is the fast symbol, so that means this person would have to bring out an extra card because it's there. And if you have taunt in play, you've got to focus damage on that over other cards. So that's something to be aware of. That's pretty much how the game is going to go. Now, as and when you can level up, so when this deck is empty, you can see that you can now level up. So this kind of interrupts this stage. Then you can advance both level discs. So over here, we can go up to, for example, level 2, keep going higher up, which allows you to buy better cards. And let's say you go up to level 4 or 3 or something, so level 4, you can buy any of those cards. You can go or take one of those 3 cards in this thing. So you grab 3, pick one of them, other 2 go to the bottom, this gets sleeved. But again, you could have picked 3 from here, etc. When you do damage, you cannot split the damage. If you're doing 2 damage, it's got to go here, not somewhere else. And then what you can do is, yes, you discard cards, the tactics, etc. You can destroy a card. You can resolve any boss-specific effects, and then you reshuffle your card in your discard pile and place them on here. So all these cards over here get shuffled up, flipped over, and placed over here too. As you can see, as the game goes on, there's other things kick in. So you can spend a credit to destroy a card, etc. Now, on the other level of difficulties, if you're playing like hard mode, etc., you can like jump over like these red zones, which makes the game quicker, but obviously faster to die. As I said, it is already difficult. We're already playing beginner level and lost. We're playing that beginner boss as well. And yeah, this is my starting character, which has a few traits. So he's got 2 different kind of faction symbols. And that's important because sometimes they can chain together. And over here's a little bit about him as well. So spreading damage between multiple threats, as you saw at a card that does that. So my view on it, well, it's very much like Edge of Darkness. As I said, you have a card, but you're going to have another thing on the back of it. The fact you don't know what's in the back can be a bit tricky to deal with. I can't recall the name of the game off the top of my head, but there's a Button Shy game, so check out my playlist for that. That is similar to this game, and that's a solo-only game. So this is going to go my cooperative playlist. And now I did give Edge of Darkness an 8 out of 10. I kind of feel this is similar. I feel it can be a bit, not necessarily slow, but it can feel as if it could be streamlined slightly, but it's very impressive. I do like how things, do you buy cards, do whatever, but the speed in which I guess we died, which still took a couple of hours in terms of actually still setting up and playing it though, and it is a 90-minute game. It might be something that you might want to check out. Also check out games such as Aeon's End, which is a cooperative game, and a deck building game, which is one of the best games of all time that I've played. And yes, the art is very nice. I like the fact that they have the little kind of stuff in the corner telling you who the artist is, etc. And yes, it's quite nice to deal with. But yeah, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't done so already. About 99% of people don't subscribe, which is quite standard for most videos on YouTube. And also make sure you check out Instagram, TikTok, X, Threads, podcasts, etc. But for now, that has been Unstoppable by Renegade Games by John D Clair. Thanks very much for watching, and check out my Dead Reckoning video too. Back to the table.